Welcome back. We are joined live by Dr. Darrell Lovell, Clinical Assistant Professor of Political Science at WT. He's also the MPA Program Director there. It's election night. It's the moment I think most of us have been waiting for. What makes this election so different and special?
I think it's the fervor around it, right? I don't think we've seen this. I was talking to some of the people in the newsroom earlier. They were telling me that their first election was 2016. That is a very distorted view of what elections are. I think young people today would be kind of shocked and bored by a Mitt Romney-Barack Obama debate today. But what sets this as apart is, I mean, it's really kind of become very heightened activity, very heightened anxiety. Like, people are tailgating today. I'm surprised people aren't putting briskets on the smoker, or having like butterscotch brownies for dessert to kind of get used to this. And we're doing post-game and pre-game and all this stuff. So I do think that there's a lot more, I don't know if it's anxiety, anxiousness, a lot more energy is being seen. And I don't know if it's always positive energy, but it sounds like things are going pretty well.
In Amarillo, there are several propositions that were on the ballot, specifically Proposition A, which is designating Amarillo for or against a sanctuary city for the unborn. And right now, there are 59% of voters voting against it. And so I guess from your perspective, what has kind of been the community's feedback on this proposition? So
this is something I was really looking at coming in tonight, because every time we've seen, or so far what we've seen around the nation, is anytime abortion has come up, the public vote has been against abortion bans or against strict abortion laws. I was very interested to see if Amarillo was going to follow suit tonight. And so far, with 70% of the vote in, it has. So I do think that what we're seeing is maybe this is an indication that Amarillo does not really have the appetite to have a strict abortion law like this. Maybe young voters are coming out more and voicing a little more of that opinion. And maybe something we've seen at the national level, where the abortion issue isn't as red and blue as we thought it was. It's a lot more of a purple issue. It's an issue that people really do kind of align on. When you talk to the public, when you talk to individuals, see that polling, most of the public is against strong abortion bans. It's when we've seen those laws be put into action by legislatures within state houses that we've gotten those bans, like we have in Texas, for example. So I do think that it's very interesting that Amarillo has followed suit, but I think it's also an indication that abortion is much more of a purple issue rather than a red or blue issue.
It is still very early during election night. There are some states that have already been called, like Texas. I guess for you, as someone who studies elections, is election night going the way that you thought it was going to go?
Yes. And I know people are going, oh man, Trump is running up the score. Well, he's running up the score in areas and states that are smaller, quicker to count. You look at a state right now, we're looking at Georgia, where Trump, I think, has a 200,000 vote election, and you can look at that and go, man, he's dusting her, it's done. It's that way because smaller counties can count faster. They produce their results faster. Georgia goes the way of Atlanta. Michigan goes the way of Detroit. Pennsylvania usually goes the way of Philadelphia. Those counties, much slower to report. So when you're looking, I was just watching before we came in the studio in Georgia, Gwinnett County, one of the larger counties, DeKalb County and Cobb County, they're still uploading batches of votes that are 300,000 and 400,000 that are in blue areas. So it's what you would expect now. He's going to get a lot of early numbers. She's going to look like she's behind, but those large population centers, once they start to report, we'll know more.
Thank you so much for being here with us today and providing your insight on election night. Coming up next, several schools in our area asking voters to change their tax rate. We've got the larger schools and larger tax rates ahead.